done the bumper cam, but the opposite way, looking at cars coming forward on you. Do you know what I mean? They do that on iRacing. I saw a video of it. Looks awesome when you got someone chasing you. Oh yeah, whatever.
Nice,
whatever.
Nice. I'm so proud.
So proud. You're so proud of my son.
Yeah, innit?
Innit?
What a fucking pig.
What a fucking pig. What a loser.
You know what they say, like father, like son.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you learn from your father. That's true. That's always the get out clause. Yeah, he's told me some stories about you, mate. Tell you. You know. You and your antics.
What? Hang on. Whatever you've heard, it's not true.
Cheers, Dan.
No worries.
Mate, I've got to meet up with you. That's the main thing. That's all I want.
What have you heard? What have you heard?
I'm not telling you.
Right, be like that.
No, all I can say is I've got to meet up with you for a beer, and it'll be a long night.
Might be a cocktail instead.
Nights.
Whatever. I'm up for anything, me. I'm up for anything.
Nights when I'm drinking usually are long. They usually go on and on and on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For the dress.
We've got to go to Le Mans then. We've got to go to Le Mans.
Yeah.
We've got to go to Nürburgring 24-hour. Just do that, mate. I'll fucking show you a time on that.
Well, we're talking about, and not confirmed yet, but we're talking about Donington Park, touring car in October, and going to the British Grand Prix is what me and the missus are talking about just at the moment. So
is that a night out? That's not a night out though, is it? Find a proper night out.
Oh, you know, mate, I don't do night out. I don't do nights out. I do weekends.
Basically, he needs his van to fall into just in case.
Wicked.
Yeah. My companion is the van, so we've got somewhere to crash.
Brilliant. Sounds like a laugh.
Is everything 25 minutes now?
Sprint race, yeah.
I did the touring cars for 20 minutes.
It's 25 minutes now.
Oh well.
Where is Fury? No surprise.
Who cares?
Fury never turns up on time.
Well, he never turns up.
He's playing DayZ.
He never turns up. That's it.
Yeah, period.
Yeah. Oh, Dolores, then nice. Okay, right. We're just waiting for Fury. So we've got. Thing is, man, I do all the graphics and stuff, and then
No, you can't use them.
Well, no, I'll use them, but he just never turns up, so it's wrong.
That's why you always ask people to clarify if they're there or not.
Is he online? Oh no, my mum took my storage away. Yeah, box, mate.
Mum's probably at work, loading up the stream, thinking, why is he not there?
Start it in a minute.
I thought she was here in between my legs.
That's what I meant at work. That's what I meant at work. Exactly.
He's on DayZ! Oh, this guy, man. Oh, mate, I'm removing him. He doesn't think he's going. Hello, do you not know what day it is?
Yeah, Martin, I showed my work colleague that video that Darren... Is it Darren who sent it?
It's Darren, yeah, he's always the dodgy
bastard. Fucking hell. She was like, you fucking sick bastards.
I can't believe you showed it to a woman, man. Fucking dodgy.
Because it was funny.
Oh, God.
Her reaction said it all.
If I showed it to my missus, she would absolutely smack me around the face, I tell you.
Well, luckily she's not my missus, so I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
I was at work, and she was like, what the fuck are you laughing at? I was just like, oh, some of the shit that ProLab send in the group chat. And she's like, well, like, what is that then? I was just like, no, you don't want to know. She goes, I've seen some pretty sick things. I was like, alright, okay, let me show you this. She goes, that's just fucking horrible.
Yeah. Have you heard all the news? I think Andy knows this. You've heard all the news about this Prolassi thing that we're doing?
Yeah,
about this
Nicky
sister thing.
earlier on.
Yeah,
He's
it's
doing
a good
homework,
idea.
but he's on... Wait. Fury's doing homework, but he's on DayZ. Oh, get lost, mate. It's gonna be...
Bullshit,
Kick him out.
Yeah, no, that should be
What's
good.
What's that all about, Mark?
So basically, mate, there's too many people wanting to join fucking ProLabs, and plus we wanted to kind of distance ourselves from a couple of the young uns and all that kind of stuff, and give them the opportunity to develop themselves and do their own different things. So basically create like a sister team, and it'll be quite interesting for the commentary. If you think about it, it's almost like two teams, right? But they have in Formula One. So instead of saying like the top fucking 10 are in bloody Pro Laps, you can say, the top fucking 4 are in Pro Laps and the rest are in Pro Lassie. Do you know what I mean? So it sort of spices it up a little bit. It's got win-wins in various different directions, to be honest. So and they can do their own practicing, their own different thing, and
I'm jumping in game chat. I'll catch you guys there.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Cheers.
Good luck, guys.
Cheers.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, it should be good, Andy, shouldn't it? It's a bit different.
Andy's gone in game chat.
Yeah, he's gone as well. You racing, G?
Gone, is he?
Yeah, I'm racing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna key you guys in.
When
Okay,
do we know? When do we know we're queued in? Will that be you telling us?
Because G's going to tell us.
Thank you very much.
I'll start us off, Mark.
Yes, please, mate. What's the track? Where are we?
Donington.
Donny. Oh, I love Donny.
Right. Live now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are here at the Clio Cup Tier 1 Round 2 here at Donington Park. And my name's Kelly Davis. I'm your commentator for this evening. I'm joined with the very capable Martin Story as well. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing, Kelly? I'm awesome, buddy. Excited for another Clio race.
Yes, indeed, and we've just had some great action in the Tier 2. It's old boy commentary tonight. The old boys, you and me, probably the oldest two commentators on the channel. So
on the planet, probably.
On the
mate.
planet. Well, speak for yourself. You're older than me. Yes, it's we'd like to call it the more mature gentleman's evening this evening. Yes, get a bit more sense than those young'uns. So stick around. Stick around, let's see your comments in the give us a hi, hello, all the rest of it. Quick mention to the sponsor of this one, Silent X Energy, are now sponsoring the Clios across the board. So they are an energy drink, and not your normal energy drink, they are all natural one. So check them out. Search them, Google them, website, so on and so forth. So we are Clios, Donington Park. Let's talk about Donington Park real quickly, Mark. What's your experience with
Donny? Love it. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a friend of mine who lives around the corner from the track. Actually, he's got a nice part of the UK.
Yeah.
I've actually driven around it myself.
Right.
In a couple of M3s actually. An E46 M3, and what's the previous one before? The E36 or the E39? I always forget the bloody numbers wrong.
I lost interest in BMWs after the E30, so there you go.
But it's a great track, mate. I mean, it's quite a technical, difficult track to master because there's some real sweeping corners when you're coming down. Listen, the one thing I need to sort out is understanding what all the bloody parts of the track are, and the names and all that. I'm rubbish at that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm exactly the same, Mark. I don't know all the corners.
But you know the one, you know the first corner, right? First corner.
Yep.
That is a tricky corner. It almost feels like it's a double apex, but it isn't, right?
No.
So if you hit
easy
that
to run
one,
wide.
Easy to run wide, mate. Totally.
Yes.
And then when you're going down the hill, down the sweeping right left, coming down to the
curves.
Thank you very much, mate. Down Craner curves, that's exciting. But then coming down to the corner where you're taken to the right-handed corner, which you can take quite quickly. Again, another one you can run wide on.
Yeah, very easily.
Very easily, and then you've got to try and keep your revs up so you can get yourself up the hill, up to the little sort of left, right, and then then you're in. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say that part of the track you're talking about, which I think Laney's just coming up to now. You've got like two corners here, and the apexes are just unsighted and very easy to. If you don't hit those apexes, very easy to.
Yes,
that's right.
This one here is just going across now as well. Second one.
Yes, both of them. They're both unsighted, and if you don't catch them right, they'll throw you wide, and if you come and take too much a curb, you'll get a slowdown on them. So that's the bit. that's the bit for me that really I struggle with every time I race at Donny. As you quite rightly say, down through the Craner curves, very exhilarating bit of track. Fantastic to watch. Had some great stuff. Battles over the years in many different categories, as Laney taken an awful lot of pit lane to go round turn 1. We've only seen Laney so far. Our race director, Mort.
What's race director doing?
There we go.
The man with the best name. The man with the best name on the track, as I keep saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what? Funnily enough, he put it up in the chat the other day, and we call him the Huas Rocker. It's actually the House Rocker, is how that is actually. Right. Yeah, is how that's actually pronounced, the House Rocker. So interesting fact. It's no doubt we'll all call him Tahuas Rocker anyway, but it's the House Rocker. So as he goes wide,
he's just gone a bit wide.
Yeah, exactly on that bit we were talking about. Saying. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So he's a good guy. So let's have a quick look at G. See, he's just going on slow. He's just gone onto the grasses. Taking a picture, taking it easy.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. He is the fastest man at the moment.
He is. That's why I went to him. But he obviously he'd done his bit. Just on Nick the Villa at the moment. He had a great race in the McGann touring cars on Sunday.
Yes.
In the feature, he was, as you know, I'm sort of trying to retain the championship of the touring cars, but it's going to be a tough one for me. And just seeing, for example, Nick the Villa, literally couldn't get away from him.
Yeah.
Couldn't get away from him. He's works on his setups, and that's what it's all about: is working on his setups, doing a bit of practice. It's interesting actually what Andy said. You asked him the question about doing practice, and Andy said doing too much practice can sometimes.
As we got a car on the roof there. That was that might have been Smoky Devil. That was. He was definitely rolling on his roof. He hit his reset button and went back to the pits. Sorry, Mark. You were saying. Actually, I think Andy says that he does no practice, not a little practice. Does like none nowadays.
Right. Wow. And he doesn't have time anyway, because the amount of time he puts into motive and also his day job as well. It's difficult that we've all got our own things to do.
Yeah.
But well, just look what he did on Sunday. I mean, it was outstanding. Clean sweep.
Totally clean sweep. 2 poles, 2 wins on Sunday night in the touring cars. But I mean, where are you on this whole kind of thing? Because I'm still in the camp that practice makes perfect. And I did say to Andy, is that a case of like driving multiple cars and multiple championships throughout a week? Is that the difference in cars?
I'm with you, buddy. I think I do a bit. I tend to only be able to do it on the weekend anyway, on the Saturday. So for example, on the FR35, the Formula Renault I do on a Saturday evening, I sometimes get on with the Prolapse guys to tweak our setups on Friday evening, mainly to have a laugh with them. But we do actually get our heads down and sort of tweak the setups and see what times we can get, and then a little bit on Saturday afternoon before the race and Saturday evening. So I do a bit, but I do agree to a certain extent with Andy. If you do a bit too much and you start to go off a little bit, you get a bit demoralised by it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yeah. I suppose you can. I mean, I'm only racing Tier 2 touring cars, and I dropped down into Tier 2, one because I wasn't quick enough in Tier 1, and 2 so I could concentrate on commentating on Tier 1. I'm only driving one series now, so I'm only driving one car to practice. So that's
it's
the only
hard
thing
when
I'm
you're
driving.
doing multiples. Last season I did 3. I did GTE, touring car, and Formula Renault. So getting to know the cars and know the tracks. They're all so different. I mean, you jump in a Formula Renault and you're like so quick, it's like a Formula 1 car. Then you jump in like a Clio. It's like you're driving something so slowly. The feeling is so different. So
And the driving style is so different as well. I very much like the Formula Renaults, and I think they're one of the best cars to drive on here. But
cars.
The Clio is a completely different animal, as as it would be in a road car. But we've said this about the Clios before, and probably people are bored of hearing me say it. As John Boy's gone into the 115th. First man in the 115s, he's flying. Although none of this is representative because it's a practice session, and we're a reverse grid for the first one. But John Boy in the 115s. Yes, as you were saying, the Clios are such an animal to drive, and they're so rear end happy that they're just a completely different beast. And I say my theory is that I'm driving one car, so if no practice works for Andy, and it certainly did, and he's the man also third in this practice session as well, so he certainly works for him, so
he knows what he's doing, mate.
I mean, so
let's just quickly go through. We've got 15 seconds left of this is it a practice? It's reverse grid?
Reverse grid, I believe.
Be nice to do commentate on reverse grid. Actually, I like to see everyone get ready for the outlap, and so John Boy, it's like you never know. You might be sandbagging a little bit. Some people might sandbag, a bit like the Formula One practice, right? You suddenly start to see the lower end guys, and you get Hamilton, who's like the 10th fastest. But obviously it's only practice. But John Boy's done well.
We'll see how that pans out. We'll see how that one pans out, Mark. I do think the Mercs are struggling a little bit, but there you go. As Andy managed to get himself into the 15s, only two men got themselves into the 15s. Andy was only a 10th behind John Boy on that one as we went to the end of that session. So we'll reverse grid for the first one. 25-minute sprint race, no pit stops, whatever. Then we go to another qualifying session for the feature race with a pit stop, and here it is. Look, it's raining. Yeah, absolutely. We were expecting this. We were expecting this for the rain. This rain for this session. So this should be interesting. Now, what should happen here is once the lights go off, these guys should roll away from the start and then get themselves into a grid position. And then come across the line with a rolling start is how we're going to go. So at the moment they're all just getting synced up and readying up and all the rest of it. So then we'll just jump quickly, Mark, to some of the chat stuff. Lots of ProLap stuff tonight. Your boys.
As always.
Shout out to the what is it? The Pro Lasses. Yeah.
Pro Lassie is yes.
Pro Lassie is what? Lassie the dog, or Lassie a girl, or
whatever. Yeah. Should I say a couple of words about that so everybody's aware of it?
Go on a bit quickly.
So basically, So we basically decided to set up a sister team alongside ProLaps because the amount of people who wanted to join ProLaps was getting too big. So we basically given somebody the ability to do a little bit of leadership. To manage their own kind of team, if you like, set up their own practices and things like that. So Maze Gamer, who was in the ProLaps team, is actually going to effectively manage the Pro Lassie team and give them a little bit of chance to step up. So we've had a.
So it's like the AlphaTauri now of ProLaps, yeah. So
correct, mate. Exactly.
And we'll see if the young uns put a few moves on you old uns, isn't it? I say you old uns. I did receive my contract from ProLaps this week. So us old ones. And there we go, there's the lights, and as you see, what's going to happen here now is they're going to get themselves into championship order. I haven't got the championship standings in front of me, but as they find their places, we can tell you who's who and where's where. As you can see that they're just rolling around, getting themselves into position. These guys will all be most probably in game chat. So they'll be just talking to each other and getting the grid sorted out as they come round this lap to do a rolling start.
I'll just bring up the results from last week, which I'll use as so. The Energy will be at the back of the grid. Andy will be. I'm going from the back of the grid forward. So Andy will be second from last. Then we've got Motoring Morgan, John Boy, your man Dan, Delore, the Who's Rocker, Nick Davila will be kind of in the mid-pack, Luta McShooty, Veligre will be coming up, Melter Dazzler, and at the front, in fact, it'll be Laney at the front, actually, I believe. Because he had a bit of couldn't make the Monza short last week, or I think he was kicked out, I can't remember, one or the other. So,
sorry, Mark. For those of you who are watching on the stream, they would have had a grid rundown there, some nice tricky graphics there from G. We don't see that on our screen that we're talking about. You see that on your stream, but the running order did come up just as you were running through for us there. So it will be Laney on pole, followed by Smoky Devil and WSRJ. Looks like we're about to go. So when Laney pulls the trigger, it looks like he already has. He's already gapped Smoky Devil as they come down into turn 1. So it's the guys in the back. You want to watch them come in from the front. That's an interesting line from Laney as he goes right into the pits. Goes around that tricky first corner in the wet. He's gapped off by a second already to Smoky Devil. He's under pressure from WSRJ and Melted Dazzler in there as well as they come down through the craners for the first time. It's still Laney. Here we go. Smoky Devil in second. He's got WSRJ there close as well as Jay goes a little bit wide. Melted Dazzler, no real big changes yet in the first few corners as we head back uphill again now and towards the back end of the circuit. So Laney with an absolute advantage here, as you say, wasn't able to make the race last week, so that put him in pole for this week, and he's gapped 2.5 seconds already. He's gapped Smoky Devil. Is Smoky Devil going to end up being the Jarno Trulli of the evening? Is he going to be a bit of a mobile chicane tonight?
You never know. You're right. Yeah, Laney's done his usual thing. He's already sort of cracked on, got the bit between his teeth, and he's really gunning for it now in the rain. The tricky conditions, right? They've got to try and get the feel for it. They've just come out of a dry session in practice, and now they're running in this very wet and damp Donington Park here. But yes, let's see. He does look a little bit of a lazy. He's doing all right. I mean, it's difficult, but Laney's just a quality driver, right? He's just showing you what he's capable of. You're talking about the wide line there, by the way. Most of the drivers take that wide line, don't they, into the pit lane, onto, they say, as much blue stuff as possible to get yourself right for this corner, you know?
Yes, indeed. I mean, I do it. Not quite as aggressively as Laney's doing it. I mean, he's right in there. I don't see what he would gain by being right in there. I certainly drift out onto the pit lane exit to...
Smoky's gone wide a bit.
Melted Dazzler has just taken advantage of that.
Melted Dazzler's gone up. Let's see if WRSJ... No, he's right up on... Yeah, absolutely. He's right up on him now. And that's given... Luty a chance as well. Oh, looks like WRSJ. He said WRSJ. I'm thinking about building RSJs in the house. But yeah, no, he kind of went a bit wide there, and Veligre is coming up the road here. Colin Fly. Absolutely.
Yeah, he likes it.
He's made a move on Smokey. So Smokey's coming right down that field at the moment.
Yeah, Smokey. I don't know if he had a couple of slowdowns. I went out in practice on this one before we went live this evening. That was the house rocker there. Just put a cracking move down into the chicane there. Nice move that was, for sure. I had a couple of minutes of practice. I went round in my touring car, to be fair, because as I said about driving one car, so I went round in the touring car, and the slowdowns, are really quite severe on this one. You start hopping curbs and stuff like that, and you're going to get a slowdown as we go on board here with Fly, who's chasing down Jay in front of him as we come down the Craner curves, goes out wide just slightly, bring it back across, pick the apex up. Fast corner this, faster than you think, but very easy to do that as he goes out slightly wide. I don't think there's a slowdown for being there. I don't think he would have had a slowdown for that one. These are the ones that I found tricky. You go left here, and then you have to catch this. As we see Jay, all over the shop. And gets punished there by Fly, who goes past him. But it's these unsighted apexes that catch me out every single time. And Jay's lost another one. Lost another position too.
Absolutely.
So poor old Jay going backwards at the moment.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's just tussling back and forth, and this is trying to get there. So tricky. The conditions are tricky. wow, it looks really cool, this, doesn't it? I think coming back to what you're talking about the graphics of this game, you've got the water effects and seeing the cars and all the graphics. It looks like a fairly decent day. We should see a rainbow. We should see a Prolapse rainbow any minute. There's a bit of sunshine coming through.
Yeah, we've always got time for a Prolapse rainbow, that's for certain, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. This would be, in the real world, this would be hideous conditions to have this much water and quite such a bright sky, wouldn't it? The sheen that you're getting off the tarmac would be horrendous to drive in. And as we see, oh yeah, Melty Dazzler's going to have a look. He's going to have a look. Going to go round, trying to go round the outside.
He's got the run on. He's got the run on.
Absolutely. Who was that? He was putting a run on.
Just seen it from behind here. Seen it from behind here. See the right side by side, giving each other some respect where they can. Oof.
Yeah,
nice
they both
driving
get round
there by
yeah.
both of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Looty McShooty, that was who he passed. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Nice cutting in the corner there. Not too much. Oh, he's got a great run there on Melty Dazzler, who lost
Melty Dazzler went wide a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back on to trackside view. It's quite tight racing on there at the moment, so some good racing. Not a lot of people gone off, so that's a lot of focus at the moment, I would say.
Yes, indeed, and we had that with Tier 2. The Tier 2 racing was good as well. The guys were all very well behaved and kept it all on the island, which is good. And you'd think in these conditions we'd have cars going all over the place as Melty Dazzler I was going to say Melty Dazzler goes down one, but Fly went right past him and right up onto the grass. I think it was Fly anyway. As you say, these are all keeping it pretty clean. And all pointing forward, which is tricky in these clears.
Andy, mate. It's going to go back to Andy and John Boy, where they were obviously they started at the back of the grid and not really been able to make any headway.
To be fair, who has made any headway? The only G is still in 11th. Dan's gone up; he's up into 8th. Andy's still there in 13th. John Boy, Motor Morgan. Oh, look at all these pushing and shoving here. They're all having a bit of a moment there as I don't know who that was in the green car, but they're all, none of them are really none of them are really moving forward, are they, Mark?
No, you're right, bud. It's difficult in these conditions, and everyone's, as we were saying earlier, everyone was giving respect and being very focused. No one really going off in these tricky conditions. There's Delory at the back. He did a great drive on the touring cars, didn't he, on Sunday?
He sure did. He's a quick boy, that's for sure. He's definitely coming up through. He's been on motive for a little while now, probably as long as I have, and he's definitely starting to show his mettle a little bit, really, isn't he, Delory? But he was the fastest man in the practice session, and Andy was second fastest in that session. At the moment, they're running 13th and 14th, effectively last, and that is the quality of this thing. I've got some stats on different people. Actually, you're on my list as well, Mark. I believe you speak 3 languages.
I do, mate.
Yeah. What languages are they?
Spanish, Italian, and English.
Excellent.
Well, probably not English that very well. I'm a northerner, right? Or Yorkshire.
Well, a version of, isn't it? Yeah. As we got these guys all still in very close company here. Smoky Devil going backwards and backwards through this pack. He was right with Sharphead. Poor old Smokey's having an horrendous meeting. As it looks like Andy's going to come round and look at all this lot. Look, 4x4 here. Look, as they come round into the last chicane. Look at that. A bit out of shape.
A little bit of tussling going on there, a little bit elbows out, as you say, let's say door handles rubbing, all getting very close, but still, fair. You're going to get a bit of that, but, again, everyone's fair at the end of that's just racing incidents, right?
Absolutely. It's close racing for sure, and the Clios never cease to give us good action. Who's that going off? That's Fly and Smokey's off as well.
It's Smokey. Your man Dan, unfortunately.
As he makes contact with Andy.
There's a bit of carnage right now. We were saying everyone was safe and all that, But you just get this little bits and bobs that happen from time to time. You know, everyone will get settled back in. You can imagine a little bit of frustration in people's heads while that was going on. So, oh no, don't get back on. You want to hope that you don't end up spinning round. You know, if nothing worse than spinning round, but in the opposite direction, right?
Oh, absolutely. Or trying to find reverse. That's trying to find reverse when you're in a panic and you're pointing in the wrong direction. Smokey goes round again, then he collects up whoever's behind him. All these guys in such close company, and these are the quick guys. Delore, Daniel's gone back. Look at all this. Look, 4 abreast as we come down. It's going to be carnage
coming
here.
Into that corner.
Oh, they all managed to get through, kind of. Motor and Morgan get pushed out there. Who did he get pushed out by? I'm not sure. The yellow car
might have been yellow car on.
Might have been John Boy. Yes, John Boy.
Yeah.
John Boy just pushed him to the outside. Smokey Devil has managed to get himself back in front of this little scrap. Daniel in there as well. Daniel was running as high as 8th, and now he's back in the pack with all these guys.
I think he was caught up in that little tussle, wasn't he? Coming down here down the Crane of Curves when he lost it. Somebody sort of tapped somebody at the side, but you know that's what happens. Some tight, good overtaken there by John Boy actually on Dan, who came in on side, but Dan's got a little bit of run on him here. You can see he's got a run on him. He's coming back up the hill now,
and he's going to get Smokey as well by the looks of it. Dan's coming up.
He's got the inside.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Look at that.
Ooh. Keeping it tight.
Smokey.
Yeah, he's going to push Smokey out on the next one.
Yeah. And here he goes. He's going to have the inside line here as Dan. Yeah, he's got it. Keep it together. Yeah, job done. Now he's got to contend with the hairpin coming up in a minute. Let's see how they get on, these 4 in this hairpin. Should be another interesting. Seems to be these 4 are tussling a lot, aren't they? He's quite cool.
Well, again, like Clio's are, you've got to break the slipstream because they're so effective. Oh, that's going to do Daniel a favour because they're all scrapping behind him.
That's right.
Smokey's still right on the back of him, and he's got a run on him towards the first turn. Yeah, right on the back of him. Dan defending. He can move once. He can move as many times as he likes in this championship, but he will get told off for it. But once is acceptable. As Smokey goes back one, John Boy comes back up. Motor and Morgan still there in that scrap for these, but Dan's gapped these 2 a little bit. He's now got to get onto the back of Jay. Jay is the next one race. Yeah, 5 seconds up the road, mind. So he's got to get on with it.
Yeah, that's right. Andy's in this group now.
Yeah.
So you've got WRSJ and Andy's kind of in the middle of it here. This is the next kind of group together, and the G's in it. Let's see them coming down on the straight before the hairpin. This group together with the G in the middle of them. Let's see how these guys all fare in the hairpin. Sorry, the chicane at the end of the straight. So,
well, we're about to see if we were joined by my friend Matt Duffin from Simplay, I'd be reminding him of the two Hondas of Shedden and Matt Neal getting together in that just in that chicane and taking each other off into the gravel, which was very much Matt Neal's fault a couple of years ago. He would, if he's watching, he will thank me for reminding him of that one. Because he is such.
See that one? That'll be on YouTube somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Shedden was leading. Matt Neal came down the inside of him, misjudged it, and managed to take both of them into the gravel. Firmly Matt Neal's fault, and he did own up to it. To be fair,
did they completely lose their places after that? What happened to the people behind?
They were out. They were out. They were in the gravel.
Oh, they were out.
Yeah, they were both out.
Right.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it was a little bit embarrassing for the Hondas and for Matt Neal, but as I said, Matt will not thank me for reminding him of that one, but we do have me and Matt at Simplay do have quite a banter over the touring car drivers. So
never been to a touring car
mate,
race. I would love to go.
Honestly, you're letting the best of life pass you by. You really are, and you get me up on my soapbox now for sure, because I think British touring car is one of the best championships in the world. I've said it before, and people are probably bored of hearing it. It's good action. It's wheel to wheel, door handle to door handle action, and tickets are like, what are they, like 45 quid for the weekend?
Nothing.
45 quid. You know, Grand Prix is like 300. Oh, the general admission is neck end of 300 quid.
Yeah.
No, sorry, general admission is £195 general admission to the Grand Prix, and nobody goes general admission. You have to have a grandstand seat, and they are like 300 quid plus. Or you can go to a touring car race, have a whole day of action, 45 quid.
With burgers and hot dogs.
Yeah, all that. Me and Dan do Thruxton regularly. We've got tickets for this year, but we won't be going because it's in May. But we're hoping to get to this exact race here at Donington Park in October later in the year. So if yourself, Mark, and anybody else,
let us know, mate. Yeah, definitely let us know, because I know definitely there's a nice town around the corner from to do a wicked curry.
All right,
when I went up there. So anyway, just talking about the people in the. So Andy's managed to work his way up into 4th position.
He certainly has, hasn't he?
Him.
Yeah, he certainly has.
Absolutely, and the G's just behind him, giving him some space. I mean, you've got a gap of 3 seconds to De Huis, who's in 3rd place. You can see him coming down the straight here. You visually see the gap here. You've got 8 minutes left. Absolutely see Andy really going for this with the G and catching up to De Huis. And no disrespect to De Huis, he's a good driver, but I can see him catching him. But then you've got Luti, who is about 4 seconds ahead of De Huis, kind of on his own a little bit, doing a bit of a lonesome. But the one man who's absolutely been on his own all the way through is this man here, Blaney. I mean, he's got 8 seconds ahead. Go on.
He's got a time penalty. We don't know what it is.
Let's have a look. There is a way to find that out.
Yeah, if you go on to... I'm not seeing... you should have a screen at the bottom there, be able to open the timings and see.
I will have to suss out how to do that. Let me not even press a button that I don't do that ends up crashing the game, right? So,
no, you don't want to do that. But on your bottom...
hit a button.
On your bottom bar, it should say, I can't remember what it says now, timings, I think.
It's on the timings one. Okay, let me go there, mate.
If you open that up...
right now. I'm going there now, buddy.
There you go.
You're right.
1 second.
So he's got a 1 second. He's got a 1 second penalty, so nothing too major.
No, probably just track limits. That one, a slow down. For that one. So not a lot else it can be in a sprint race, to be honest. You know what I mean? The big penalties come in the pit lane, which for some reason Nick the Villa is in the pit lane. I don't know why.
He is, isn't he?
I don't know why he's gone in. I don't know why he's gone in,
is he retired? It looks like he's retired. It's not allowing you to look in the pit lane on this particular.
Yeah, it's not picking up the camera angle, is it?
Camera angle,
and Daniel was way back as well on Orthodubs. Why is he all the way back there? Has he taken
Nick's
a
coming
pit?
out. Maybe Nick had. You always come up with kind of why they're doing that. He might have not put enough fuel in.
He might have not put enough fuel in. He might have been crazy enough to change tyres.
Maybe he's changing tyres. Yes. Well, because it's dried up now.
We talked about this one because Tier 2 was very, very similar in the conditions, and we talked about this one that we come to the conclusion. That it just takes too long for the mechanics to change the tyres, and it just isn't worth it. But if these guys, Daniel's another one with a penalty, and I hope that's, again, I don't know what he's got that penalty for, but Dan was way back behind the rest of the pack, and I wondered if they were crazy enough to change tyres, but I don't think it'd be worth it.
Same. Yeah, Dan seems to change the tyres in Formula Renault quite a lot. It seems to be a strategy he uses, but you can see it hasn't really done much for them, and they've only got 5 minutes left of this race, right? So they're not going to make 34 seconds up or 30 odd seconds up.
Yeah, You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right, Mark. In a sprint race, what is the point? Do you know what I mean? And again, let's say we were talking about this in Tier 2, and it's one of the downsides of this game that it just takes far too long to change tyres. We could really throw in some different strategies with our sim racing if we had those options available to us, but we don't. So
no, exactly. So now with Andy's
G's got past him
up the chuff yes, exactly. Let's have a little bit of bumper cam with these two. Oh, looks like G's gone a bit wide there.
Just in time, that looked like G went wide, unusual for G to see G make too many mistakes. He went
we
wide.
can see
and
how this is drying up, mate. Look, you can see how the dry line's forming a little bit on the track.
Absolutely, but again, just not
still
worth
a bit.
Some standing water there, isn't there? Yeah, there's
I wouldn't.
enough.
I would have. I, like you, would take the easy route and stick with the bloody the wet tyres, right? So
yeah, it's just not worth it. Just not worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Andy now back up into fourth. Andy was commentating with me and Dan in Tier 2, and he said he was looking forward to this track, that he loves the track, absolutely loves it, but wasn't looking forward to racing the Clios in the wet. Wasn't quite so confident about wet Clios, but now it's starting to dry up. Him and G have got pace. They spent the first few laps just trundling around at the back, but the two of them are back up into sensible points paying positions now.
Absolutely, decent points from the fourth and the fifth, right? So looking at the lap times here, mate, and just looking at Nick DeVilla, assuming he did change his tyres, is doing a 1:22, so no major He's the slowest man on the track at the moment. The fastest man on the track is actually Andy, I believe, by looks of this. Andy's the fastest man at the moment on his last lap. With DeHuis doing pretty well. I mean, I thought that Andy might have a chance of catching up with DeHuis, but DeHuis is doing well. He's kept that 5 second gap, even though the numbers are looking a little bit messed up at the moment, but I think, no, it's 5 seconds, there we go, 3 or 4 second gap between DeHuis and Andy.
Something we were chatting about in Tier 2. G and Andy are now so busy fighting amongst themselves that they're not going forward anymore, they're just defending from each other. So
this is worth watching.
Andy's gone wide. Andy went wide.
Missed it.
Yeah, and G
Andy
got past him.
G got past him again. The other one to start watching here, mate, is for second and third position. Here we go. We've got DeHuis in. Ooh,
and there it is.
Looks like DeHuis has gotten into second. So Luty went a bit wide there, buddy.
Yes, indeed. And as the track does start to dry, it will become more and more tricky to do this on these wet tyres. Luty just went a bit wide, and DeHuis was right there and just capitalised on that completely. I think he's going to struggle to get his head down and catch Laney unless Laney has an absolute 12-second disaster. Laney, the fastest man at the moment in the 1:20 zeros, so he's still pushing hard with a 12-second gap.
Look at the times are coming down. Actually, look at we're down into the 1:19s now with a couple of drivers, and that's Andy and the G in the 1:19s
as the track starts to dry.
As the track starts to dry, so there's 2 seconds now. G's behind Luty.
G might be having a sniff of a podium, but it's going to be tight, isn't it?
Yes.
It's going to be tight. I think we'll probably get one more lap.
One more lap, mate. I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to. Look, you can see. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's a bit to do, isn't it, in one lap?
It's a lot to do in one lap. Yeah, but then.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple of mistakes. These Luty's trying to get back on the back of the house rocker, the Huis rocker, however you want to pronounce it. Luty's trying to get back onto it, and all it needs is these two to touch. Will be G will be right there.
Luty will want this second place, mate. He'll want it. You can imagine what he's thinking right now. Third's not good enough. Second's what I want. Do you know what I mean? Every position counts when you're going for the championship, all the points towards the end of the season, as you well know, with a touring car for me last season. I mean, oh my god, what, 6-7 drivers
Luty's up
on the last. He's
Luty's
done it.
Up, sorry, Mark. Luty's up the side of him. They're side by side now as they come down. It's going to be interesting into this last chicane. We're going to have one more lap because I think Laney must have crossed the line by now. So we're going to get one more lap out of this one as Luty makes that stick. Good move.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the G and see how far he's back off these 2 seconds, and it's going to require a monumental effort to get up to these.
It's going to take a mistake from these two, isn't it?
That's right. I'm going to watch these for a little bit. I'll go back on to Laney as he crosses the line in a second. But this is for me is the interesting piece, fighting for this position here.
Yes, indeed, and look how dry it's become now. Look. Yeah, there's hardly any. Well, certainly down through the craners, there's no standing water whatsoever, no spray. A little bit at the bottom there, as we see it picking up now.
Absolutely.
Is De Huis going to have a crack at this into the last chicane? That's going to be his best bet. He's going to have to get in a little bit closer to Lutey than that. Lutey keeps it nice and tidy on the apex, perfectly round the apex. Another tricky corner to go, and then it's the long back straight. De Huis this is going to be his chance.
Kept it in. Yeah, I'm going to Laney just before they're coming down the straight here, mate. Go to Laney. Congratulations to Laney. Coming over the line. Just now flashing his lights as we go. Good win. Back
lights
down
to flag,
to Lutey. Coming through. Here we go. Coming through.
Oh, it gets all squiggly. De Huis can't quite make it. Lutey's going to run him wide. Yeah, that was fair enough, I think.
That was fair enough, buddy.
Oh, look, G's come through. Oh,
he's taken third. He's going to be like, oh my God. That was...
that
I'm
was...
glad we caught that. I'm glad we caught that. Just going back so we can... Valigri comes over the line. Andy's in 6th. WRSJ. Motoring Morgan into 8th place. John Boy in 9th. Melted Dazzler in 10th. Delore in a probably, I'm sure, is disappointed in his 11th place. We all know is capable. Smokey started off right at the front, obviously came down the list over time. Your man Dan, sure he's a bit disappointed with that, but tough race, and Nick DeVilla bringing up the rear end. But wow, what an interesting last little bit there from the G, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And G just stole that one away from De Huis Rocker as he was scrapping with Lutey McShooty. So opportunist move from G there, but made it pay off. Laney ended up with a 3-second penalty. Must have been doing some corner cutting there, but made no odds. He won by a comfortable 12 seconds from Lutey McShooty. The only G in 3rd. Let's just go back through the rest of the order. De Huis Rocker in 4th, Fly in 5th. Andy made it up to 6th place. WSRJ excuse me, in 7th, Motoring Morgan 8th, John Boy in 9th, and Melted Dazzler is your 10th place man. Well, that's a good start. We've
good start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoyed that.
Yes, indeed. So we will go to a very short break, and then we'll be back with qualifying for the feature race. Feature race this evening with a mandatory pit stop, as is always. I believe it might be dry for the feature race. So join us back here. Go get yourselves a cup of tea, whatever you're doing, and get back here as quick as you possibly can for the feature race, and we'll see you very shortly. Okay, I presume that we're off stream, but
should be, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't swear too much just in case we're not.
I've been eating while we've
Yeah, I heard you.
Sorry.
Don't have to apologise to me.
Family stuff, you know, my wife made a nice Chinese there, and eating it while I was commentating. Loved that.
Oh, excellent, and why not? Why not, indeed.
Glass of red wine on the go as well.
Ah, well, hello. My missus just spoke then. As soon as you said red wine, she went, "Oh, that sounds nice."
She's off to go and open a bottle now.
Yeah, a bottle. Yeah, probably a bucket.
Good on her. Yeah, good race that. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, Clio's are great, and I hate driving them. Love watching them. You know, because they always throw up great racing. Really tight stuff. The horse thief mile, which I believe we're doing the horse thief. Have you been and checked that out? I told you that last week, didn't I?
No, I didn't check it out, buddy. Remind me.
Horse thief mile. When you get on the PlayStation at the weekend, horse thief mile, my friend, it is nuts, absolutely nuts little track, and to see that's going to be a very interesting race to commentate on, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. And you said it's quite a short track, isn't it? Quite a short circuit.
I think it's less than a minute, and it's like uphill really aggressively, then downhill really aggressively, then uphill really aggressively, and round again.
Yeah, but which track is it though? Because it's not called Horse Thief Mile.
It's Willow Springs.
Willow Springs, that was it. You said. I remember now.
Yeah. You go on Willow Springs and then go to the Horse Thief Mile. The original track, I don't think it's got any element of the original track on the Horse Thief Mile. It's like a completely separate. I don't even know where it is in relation to the main track.
Willow Springs, the main track. Because I can't remember when I did it. I thought there was no little side bits to it. It was all just one circle.
Yeah, I say I don't know where it is in relation in the real world.
In Google and have a look now.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I would. The Horse Thief Mile, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Interesting name as well, isn't it? Horse Thief Mile.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, I see what you're saying, buddy. Talk about a weird shaped track, isn't it? It's kind of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah. And if you want to go and have a laugh, take your Formula Renault round it.
I might give that a go just for a laugh.
Yeah, I would. I'm trying to think what the other one is that I really like. I can't think off the top of my head. I'll come back to it. There's another one that's very rarely. I don't think it's raceable in a sim race because it hasn't got a pit lane, but.
It looks like a go-kart track. I tell you what, there is. If you Google Horse Thief Mile, you can see where it is in relation to the main Big Willow. They call it Big Willow is the track that you would have seen when we did the touring cars.
Yeah. I drove that one.
Yeah, it's completely off. It's not connected to it at all. No. It's next door to it, basically.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
It's a go-kart track.
Yeah, as I said, it's crazy. It's crazy. When do we go? I'm just having a look at the on the Discord to have a look, see when we go there, because it's Clio, race format.
When do we go
Season
live?
7. I don't know. None of them are coming back to tell us. It's round 4, so we've got Sergio next week for Clio's, and then it's race 4. Round 4, Horse Thief Mile.
Cool.
So
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I might if we're not. I don't know when we go back. I'll wait for the stream to change and then I'll try again.
No, I'll let you know when we're back.
Hello.
Thank you.
I take it we're out.
Yeah.
When it went to the graphic on the stream, I presume we were.
Right, they can hear you now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Feature race time, qualifying for the feature race time here at Donington Park. If you just joined us, Clio Cups round 2. Myself, Kelly Davis, and Martin here in the commentary box. If you've just joined us, welcome along. We were just talking off air, Martin, weren't we? About round 4 in these Clio Cups. We were chatting about it. It's the Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile is round 4. Now, if you haven't driven the Horse Thief Mile on Project Cars, then you need to go and have a look at it. I've just introduced Mark to it, and I'm sure he's going to go off and play it at some point. Oh, as we see John Boy go round already. He's finding the grip out there, that's for certain sure. The Horse Thief Mile is a very, very interesting track. If you go on to those of you who want to go and find it, if you go on to Willow Springs and go for the option, the Horse Thief Mile on the track options, you'll find it. It's very interesting. That's going to be round 4. I can't wait for that. That's going to be brilliant. But we're not at round 4. We're at round 2. Yes, indeed, at Donington Park, our very own Donington Park here in England, and the rain stopped, which is nice. And I believe, I might be wrong, that we're going to have a dry race for the feature race. So I understand, but this is this is Blighty, right. And anything can happen as far as rain concerned, you know. So we wait to see. So
yes.
Fury has joined us for this one.
Oh, he's jumped in. Yeah,
Yes.
good for him. Yeah, couldn't make the first one, could he? So let's see what kind of lap times he can do, see if he can get himself well up the grid. Just talking about Donington, as I said in the last thing, I've been to Donington Park. It's in a beautiful part of the country, up near just north of Leicester, just south of Derby, just off the Peak District, I think, if I'm right in saying that.
You might well be.
Near Derby, Nottingham. It's a lovely part of the country, and the light's going down now, so I'm assuming, based on the times we had before, we're probably looking at around about 6 o'clock in the evening now, maybe 5 o'clock in the evening, the light's going down.
I must
Shadows
admit,
on the track.
I didn't look at the format and I didn't look at what time of day it was. I mean, I've got myself extremely well organised for touring car, but
As
not quite so
always.
well, quite so well organised for Clio's. I must admit, I've got myself a clipboard now. That's how kind of official I am these days. But it's got nothing on it about Clio, so I'm doing it all pretty much on memory. Yes, it does look like the sun's going down. The shadows are getting long here at Donny. It's got 11 minutes left of this session. And at the moment, Laney's the fastest man out there on a 16.0. I'm expecting to see the 115s in qualifying, aren't you, Mark?
I would say so. If he's hitting 1:16.08. He's just a whisker away from the 15s, and we've only really just started, right? So the qualifying, so as they start to maybe lose a bit of fuel, get the tyres really up to optimum performance, we should definitely see. Let's see if Slaney does a 15 here actually on board with him now. So he's obviously on a flyer. He's gone
as he went wide
on that one. That would have lost him a couple of tenths, I'm sure. Let's see what he comes out with if he improves. No, he doesn't improve on his previous time. But I do agree, I do think we'll get to the 115s. We're talking about this area of the world, right? Say Derby and all that. Lights going down. You'd have a race. Me and you down there watching the race. Then after, as I said, there's a great curry house just round the corner from the circuit.
Sounds good.
Me and you. Pint of Peroni.
Yeah.
Nice, whatever your favourite kind of food is in Indian. Do you like Indian food, mate?
Not particularly.
That didn't work then. Oh,
well,
God.
I'm sure there'll be a Chinese takeaway not far away either. And,
love a Chinese. Love a Chinese.
Chinese takeaway, I can do that. But to be fair, Mark, as I say, we're me, Dan, and the missus are all talking about doing Donington Park for the British Touring Car, which is in October. I know that Matt Duffin from Simplay is going Donny as well, and some of the Simplay boys are going to Donny, so it could be a laugh, could be a good laugh.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
definitely.
Not just, I mean, the racing will be great anyway because it's a touring car, but it could be a really good laugh.
Banter with your mates,
yes,
getting up
absolutely.
there, having a laugh, and your family. As I say, I've done many track days and many sort of trips abroad to like the Nürburgring and and Le Mans and all that. It's the banter and the laugh with being
Mate,
beers, having a laugh.
Absolutely, I know you have. I know you've done probably 200,000 miles of air miles, haven't you? Flown over 200,000 miles.
Oh, I wonder where you got that from.
I wonder where I got that from, and it's funny you... absolutely, and speak 3 languages as I learned, and absolutely. So
hablas español si quiere hablarse conmigo, si nosotros hablaste, ¿sí?
Exactly what I was thinking. Yep. I'll second that, whatever you said. Absolutely, just showing off now. I feel really quite stupid. There you go. I've got, as you know, I've got some facts. Daniel is like race director, as it were. Race coordinator for touring cars, and he's collected up some facts. And I said, we've got yours. We've touched on a few of your facts and whatever. We got some on other people as well. And who should we pick on? Let's pick on. Let's pick on John Boy, because I saw his name.
Go to John Boy and let's watch him while he's drunk. While you talk to him, I'll get him on this cam there. Go on.
I've got loads of these as well. I've got loads of these. Mate. So let's do. I've now lost John Boy. Yeah, John Boy. Real name, he's put John. Genius, right? Okay. I don't think his last name is Boy though, but he just put John. He's from Northamptonshire, and he's 33 years old. And inspirational quotes: once the flag drops, the ball stops. Absolutely. So as long as you're not Max Verstappen, because when the flag drops, you really want the ball to go fast. That's John Boy. Who else we got here? WSRCJ. We've also got Jay, first name, from Wiltshire, 36 years old. Goals for the season: stay out of trouble. Yeah, that's usually the one that I like to go with as well. Jay. Fun facts: raced against Will Burns in BTCC and Janetta Sports Championship. Really? Wow. Okay.
Who's Will Burns? Don't know.
Yeah,
Is he obviously a BTC driver?
I'm not quite sure who he is either, but yeah, it sounds impressive, doesn't it? And the last one, we'll pick two more, right? We'll pick two more. We'll have a quick look at Fury, as Fury is now here and with us. And we've seen the Fury Massive is on the chat as well, because Fury's granddad has put in. Bath Easton is where Fury is from. His name's Joe, just in case you've wondered what Fury's actual name is, because Fury's one that's on many championships and much involved with this. He's 16 years old and for Bath Easton. And fun fact: this is quite amazing. Joe has had 11 heart operations since he was 18 months old. That's really quite, probably an ordeal to go through.
What's the word? An ordeal.
Absolutely.
The word impressive is not. It's kind of scary. Let's be honest. The families to go through all that, but here he is driving away, and he's very capable.
His motto or inspirational quote is that he lives his life a quarter of a mile at a time, which he's pinched from Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious. Quarter of a mile at a time. We don't do quarter of a mile and then crash. You want to think about the next quarter of a mile as well. So, and just lastly, we'll do unorthodox, right?
Let's do Dan.
Let's do Dan. I know a bit about this lad. 25 years old, from Cornwall, and you'll love this, right? Fun facts. Talk about bigging himself up, eh? Right, listen to this, yeah? Fun facts about yourself. BMX racer from the age of 7 to 21. 7 times Cornish champion. 3 times Southwest champion. 2 times Southwest Challenge champion. British ranked number 11 in 2012. Number 4 in the British Championships. And competed at the World in 2012 in BMX racing. Yes, I know all that, Dan, because I was there and financed every single one of them.
Away, Where was the World Championship held?
Birmingham NEC it was, in 2012.
Were there many people from around the world, as in BMX riders
absolutely.
from the US? I would imagine the US, right?
Absolutely. I mean, BMX racing, we won't get onto BMX racing for too long this evening, but BMX racing is poorly funded in this country. It's not. If you look at the Dutch are particularly good at it, the French are good at it, and I do believe that most schools in France have their own BMX tracks. You know, where the one local to us, to me and Daniel, which is just a mile or so away from where both of us live. You have to go to Exeter 100 miles to find the next one, you know, so in other countries
they're spread out.
BMX racing is not very well supported in this country, although there is an indoor track at Manchester with the velodrome, right next to the velodrome, which again we've competed at many times.
And this is the BMX riding where they bring the gate down, you know, where they put the gate down and they all race, and then they do the jumps over the big hill, not hills, but you know what I mean, the dusty track type stuff that you see on TV.
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much every track nowadays is tarmac corners, and the surface.
Yeah, the surface is. It's an Olympic sport, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple of very good English guys that and BMX is like, because it's such a small community, the ones at the sharp end of the sport, you know them personally. Do you know what I mean? I've been on the same. I've been in the same race as multiple world champions. You know, because it's a small community. You know, and I know these. Sinead Reid was an Olympic hopeful, and she was 4 times world champion, and you know, used to chat to her on a regular basis. You know, just she'd be at all the meetings that we'd be at. You know, so it's a very small community, and Dan and his sister actually had a really good childhood with it, or so they tell me. They certainly had, you know.
Well, he's proud of it. You can see he's proud of it, and he worked hard at it. You know what it's like. Practice makes perfect. I mean, he loved it. He loves the thrill of speed. Loves the thrill of stuff like
Daniel,
that. You know.
Daniel's a racer, and Daniel was not always the quickest out of the gate, but he was a good overtaker, and he never gave up. Although, you know, a BMX race is kind of done in about 45-50 seconds. You can't hunt your opponent down. You just have to get on with it.
Yeah, and, absolutely. It's pretty exciting. I do enjoy watching it. You can see some of the jumps these guys do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty dangerous as well, I would imagine, because you come down on top of each other. You know.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel's got a list of broken bones again, as is his sister. Touch wood, just touched myself on the head. I never broke a bone in my racing career or BMX career, so I was the lucky one, but or maybe I wasn't pushing hard enough. You know.
I know we talk about bikes here, because you and I obviously grew up in the days with bikes, obviously BMX racing. But I tell you, you'll know this. I'm gonna throw a few out to you here, right?
Go on.
Obviously, everyone must know, especially in the UK, the chopper. Right?
Yeah, rally chopper. Yeah.
Right. And I had, prior to that, there was one called the Tomahawk, which is like the baby version of the chopper.
Baby one. And there was a budgie as well that was smaller.
A budgie,
again.
That's right. They were the 3: budgie, Tomahawk, and chopper. Chopper was awesome. You could get 6 people on that bike in terms of the bloody. You used to call it a croggy in the north in Yorkshire. And we've got 40 seconds here. We'll talk about who's doing well here in a second. But croggy, we used to say, we'd get 8 people. Gives a croggy. So that's like a backie in London. And then I had a grifter.
Yeah,
remember when the grifters came out?
Yeah, I had one of them.
The gears on the grip.
Twist grip.
Twist grip. And then obviously the really good BMX bikes came out, which I think I then flipped over to racing bikes. I had a rally racer. But anyway, let's quickly just say, look, you were right. With 115, Dan goes wide a bit there. He's not going to do any better than his 116.876 now as the end of the qualifying's over. Andy came in right towards the end.
Right at the end there. Yeah. Who's left on track? John Boy still left on track.
The Hoos Rocker, John Boy is still on, but he's got a way to go. We'll come back to him in a second.
Andy's gone. Andy's quickest
Andy's
at the moment.
Gone in.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's have a John Boy. We'll soon see in a minute as these ones start to come in. Let's see who's getting towards the end of the track. Melted Dazzler. Where are we on the track? I'm trying to work out. No, he's still.
You're bottom of the Craners.
Yeah. And he's slowing down for that one.
Yeah.
Smokey's had enough.
Where's John Boy? Is he still on
now? Let's have a look now. Yeah, he's on. He's coming to the top of that. But let's see if he can improve on his very good lap. Very close. Look how close he is to Anders' time.
Very. He's about the only man who can do it now. I don't know what Luty's doing, but let's stay on with John Boy as he comes through the last chicane and keeps that all together. Is he going to go quicker? We're about to find out. No, can't do it. Can't go that little bit quicker. So unless Luty McShooty or Melted Dazzler, Luty was behind him. He did improve. No, that's it.
We're all in.
So your man on pole. Andy was saying how he likes this track, so there he goes. Only 2 men in the 115s, and that will be Andy with a 115.7 and a 115.78 for John Boy is your top 2. Laney was your man in 3rd, and Fly came in 4th in that qualifying session. So this is a 31 lap race. There is a mandatory pit stop, which will probably be from around lap 10. I'm not absolutely sure. But it'd be around that way if you kind of follow the normal motive format. So these guys are just doing their last checks, just making any tweaks that they want to make, filling up with fuel, stuff like that, and we'll be ready to go racing as soon as these guys are all readied up and the computer has synced it and done all its bits and pieces.
Absolutely.
And prediction for the win, Mark, very quickly.
I'm going straight to Andy. He showed that he was doing great, sort of growing up the field in the sprint, and he's obviously done extremely well. As long as he keeps his head together, I put my money on him.
I'm gonna. I think Andy's got a really good crack at it, and he's driving really well in these tin tops. But I'm going to go for Laney. I'm
nice.
gonna put aside the Vidal Sassoon MX-5 thing, and I'm gonna back Laney on this one for the win.
Yeah.
That was short and sweet. He got disconnected. Is Fury out?
Fury out?
Fury's out. He's got disconnected. Oh no.
Poor lad.
Fury's mum has only just said hello as well. Hello, Fury's mum. Unfortunately, your boy's out already. Yeah, he's disconnected. What a shame. What a shame. He's only just got here. So poor old Fury only got a qualifying session in, and us to chat about him for a couple of minutes. As it looks like we're ready to go racing. We're syncing up. This is a standing start on this one.
You crack on, mate. You crack on.
Yep.
Go for it.
And the lights go out, and Andy's got a nice start. But John Boy's quick. John Boy's very quick. He's getting to his slips. Going to have a look round the outside of turn 1, but it's going to be. Yep, Andy's got this covered off. John Boy's going to have to tuck in as they go round down through the craners. Laney under pressure by just about everybody else in the field, to be honest, as they come down the craners for the first time. It's Andy leading them away. John Boy's all over the back of him, looking down the inside, one side to the other, trying to go around it. Andy gets the back end step right out, but holds on to it. But that gives John Boy a run. But Andy's on the outside for this corner, but he's going to be, that's it. John Boy's got the job done. Andy's going to have to tuck in behind him and go after him. And Laney right there as well. These three have gapped back a little bit to Fly, because Fly's fighting with Luty Mashuti by the looks of it. Luty Mashuti right on the back of Fly, as well as Tahutis Rocker, as well as Tahutis puts one down the side of Luty. These two were very close in the first one, but look at Andy. Andy's right in the slip of John Boy. He's going to give him hard time. Here he goes. He pulls out to the inside. He's got the inside line for the chicane. He's going to brake later, and he does. Slows it all down. Nice move from Andy. Very measured, but John Boy's got to run. He's got to run on the outside. He's going to put someone spun round in the background. I don't know if that's Luty or Tahutis Rocker, but they've gone round in the background, managed to sort it out. But the action is right at first. And who else is in this? Fly has just took Laney on the inside as they go into turn 1, and Andy manages to stay in front, but only just. We'll cut to the craners in a minute, and we'll see. They're going to go side by side down through the craners. We've seen this in touring car before. As they go side by side, Andy gets a little bit squirrely, but he's still on the inside for this next corner. And they're all very close, but they keep it all together. But Andy going backwards a little bit. He had to get out of the power a little bit because he was going sideways. So John Boy now, Fly moves up into 3, and Laney's still in 3rd. So Andy with a bit of work to do now, but it's still only halfway through the second lap. So we've got a long way to go yet. And Andy's having a look at Laney down the inside as we come up to the far side of the track and back onto the back straight in a moment or two. And who's this who's added into the party? Tahutis Rocker has caught them up as well. Now it's a 5-way scrap at the front. But John Boy's starting to try and gap Fly a little bit, and Tahutis comes right down, overshoots that completely. That was all a little bit, messy
scrappy
from the house rocker. Nearly rocked over himself. And he's gone backwards.
To say sorry.
Yeah, he's gone backwards over that one. That's for certain sure. So it didn't pay off for him. But
you need to catch your breath. You need to catch your breath, Kelly. You're doing brilliantly there.
I need a drink. To be fair, I think that's what I need.
Just to help you out here. I mean, this group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by looks of it. There was a bit of a pull away from Valigri, John Boy, Laney, and Andy, but they had a little bit of a tussle together to allow Tahutis Rocker and Motory Morgan to get close to this group. You can see here between 1st and 7th, there's only almost 2.3 seconds, right? So it's very tight up the front there, but extremely exciting for the guys right now, because they're They're giving each other a bit of respect. You see a bit of flashing going on there, right, to let people know thanks for letting me through or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. Valigre leading for this one. He led for a piece at Monza. Let's see if he can keep it together. At Monza last week, he got a bit scrappy towards the end of the race. And like with any of these things, it's about consistency, isn't it? It's if you can keep the car on the grey stuff and keep it, you know, similar lap times, 117s, 118s they're doing at the moment, you're in with chance for first, second or third. That's the way it works, basically.
Absolutely. And Feliga or Fly, whichever way you want to call him, and his brother Delore have stepped up from Tier 2 into Tier 1 this year. So and both of them having both of them showing pace for sure. And Fly's out in front at the moment, starting to gap John Boy a little bit. The big loser, poor old Andy's gone backwards, although he's got himself back. As we go on to him, he's sideways again.
There seems to be, doesn't he, on that corner? Twice he's done that.
I don't know if he's just overdriving the car a little bit, you know, because he's going backwards, and the kind of pace he had in practice as Motor Morgan goes down the side of him, now he's going to have
significantly there as well.
Absolutely.
He might pick up a penalty for that. We'll see if he gets a red mark against him. But yeah, I mean, you know, when he might have set up for the car really well for the for qualifying, but when you load these cars up like any car with a load of petrol, they get a little bit different, don't they?
They do.
Yeah?
They certainly suffer with more fuel in them. These, you know, or more fuel or less fuel, depending on which way you like your car. But you put more fuel in it, and it does weigh the back end down a little bit. It keeps the back end a little bit more stable. But there's a change for the lead. John Boy's in front again. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes,
he's gone out wide there. Laney's gone out wide. Laney's getting a bit scrappy.
Yeah,
I've noticed this from him sometimes.
Yeah,
and if you're watching the stream back again later, Laney, when you're back in your sofa,
when you're at work tomorrow,
and when you're at work tomorrow, we'll talk about it. You know, there's a couple of times I've seen you be a bit scrappy. You need to sort your life out, man.
Need to sort your life out, man, innit? You know? Come on, dude. As he's under extreme pressure from the only G.
He is.
But they're all catching back up on the lead, basically. So John Boy's back in front. But let's be fair, any one of these four is going to be taking it. Motu Morgan has got in front of Andy. Andy seems to be struggling for pace at the moment. A lot of red marks. There's a lot of red marks up there. There's a lot of people with penalties. In fact, probably half the field have got penalties now.
I'll check on them later. I'll check the times later when they start to accumulate, because it probably won't be their own one and only penalty. It's early on, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and well, they're probably only 1 second and 2 seconds from slowdown penalties, but they are stacking up nevertheless. Everyone's got one, so these guys pushing the limits, you know, trying to find the extra bit of track that they can have, but pushing the limits a little bit too far as we go on board with Motor Morgan. I love this shot so much. Right down there as we get close in behind the only G, running the Hamilton logo on the Nick Hamilton logo on the Clios. As they come up into these, this is the look. G goes, Laney goes a little bit wide, but G can't capitalise on that. Laney drags it back in again, and as I said, G can't quite get him. But I feel like he's going to in a minute.
Laney here. Let's see what they go through. We'll stick on this view for a sec while we go into the little chicane.
G can have a go. G can have a go. Is he going to have a go? No, he has a look. He has a look through the chicane.
He doesn't lunge. He knows when somebody's still committed to the corners. It's almost like got another sense, this boy.
He's a formidable competitor. Is the only G. He's going to go round. He's trying to go all the way around the outside. Is he going to do it? He's side by side with him, Mark.
There's Laney side by side. They're literally side by side. Like flicking between the two. He's got the inside line, but then Laney will have the. Oh, he's got it. He's managed to go for him, and Laney's let him go.
And
then he's put a nice bit of brake on.
No,
Laney come back in.
He
might have given him a little tap there by the looks of it. Unlucky. That was just a bit of a racing incident, I would say. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? To see how close that was and giving each other a bit of respect. Andy, come on board with Andy now. So Andy's trying to catch up with. He's got in front.
He's back in the fourth. Yeah, he's that was Andy that went through and not Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was.
They're flipping and flopping places at the moment.
Yeah, as you were jumping from one to the other, I kind of lost my bearings about who was where. So, John Boy's still is in front at the moment. Flying second, Laney third.
Someone's tapped a couple of cars out there.
I don't know what's going on there.
Andy's managed to capitalise on that. Managed to get himself up a little bit. To who is?
I think Andy's gone.
Little flash in there. Yeah, Andy's got his way up in behind the G.
Yeah.
And Laney's managed to get himself up into second place now. We're on board with Delory at the moment, who's behind behind the G. And how close the G is to Andy.
Yes, indeed.
Can touch that back end.
I think we should go trackside again in a minute, Mark.
Going there now, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's some very close racing going on in these with these guys. Any one of them capable of a win. Look, all the way back to, where are we? Probably Motor and Morgan, DeHuis Rocker. Where's Dan in all this? He's not far behind. The whole pack is still only, certainly down to 10th, 7 seconds over the whole pack. Back to 10th, so it's not a lot at all. So close racing with these Clios, and that's what we love about them, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, let's also see coming into this chicane here now, all one after the other. They're all sort of concertina behind each other. A few people going out a little bit wide. It is a tricky chicane, that one. You've got to, you can't come up to it too quickly. You've got to get,
Yeah, I like it. In practice, I was flowing through it quite nicely, and again, driving the touring car, you know what the Renault Megane's like as well as I do. The back end drifts all over the place, but you can throw it through there quite nicely, I found. So I think it's one of the for me, it's one of the better spots on the track. But you can't go wrong real quick.
You can. I mean, if you're coming down to that gear, you're coming down. Depending how your gear ratios are done, you could be in 6th gear as you're coming down the gears to get down to 2nd. I don't think you can take it in 3rd if you want to, but I think you'll lose the revs getting ready for the pit straight. I'd like to get down to 2nd for that corner, but when you're coming from 6th down to 2nd, you've got to get down those gears. These are not like the gears in a Formula 1 car where you can go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Although, believe you me, I try.
The times I have, but that's right. So look at. Oh my God! I was just looking at all the guys with the penalties have now shifted to the back end. All the red was split. Now shifted to the red actually. So
yes, indeed. And look,
go with Andy.
Laney's now in first. We've been missing this while we've been chit chatting. Laney's in first. John Boy's second. Andy's now up to 3rd, but he's got G almost in the car with him. They're so close as they go around the first turn. These lot have all gapped back to some of the others as you get from Motor and Morgan probably all the way back to Dan in 10th, so 5th back to 10th are still in close company, but G and Andy going at it again. They've been going at it like mad.
He loses a bit of traction on that corner again.
It's always that corner for him, isn't it?
A little bit loose for him on that one, isn't it?
Yeah, as G tries to go up round the outside, he's going to be brave up round there. He backs out of it, tucks back to the inside. They're both catching John Boy really quickly. They're both going to be. They're both now right on the back of John Boy as Laney's checked out 2 seconds in front. He's off and away, and you'll be able to chat to him about maybe he was listening to you, Martin. He's just reeled it all in and
pulling his act together. Yeah,
absolutely.
Still 20 laps to go though, mate. Look, these three very, three are probably the most capable drivers on the track on there at the moment. Really giving each other a bit of respect, but also sort of fighting at the same time. Andy seems to have settled in a little bit now, and we should always have faith in him. So you've got Laney in your bet, and I've got Andy in my bet. So it's me versus you now.
Right at the moment, And whoever wins buys the first beer when we meet. All right.
Buys the first beer when we meet. Yeah. That sounds like that's a deal, buddy.
Sorry, whoever loses buys the first beer. Oh, as Andy gets it all sideways again on that corner. He was lucky to catch that. That was properly out wide, wasn't it? Yeah.
So it's very, very close to that completely spinning round. But,
the way he's doing that, I'm looking forward to ordering a double when it's your round, by the sounds of it. Andy's going to keep doing that.
That's it. He needs to really think about his approach on that corner, I think. We've seen, 4 laps now where he's been a bit scrappy on that one?
But do you find, Mark, I certainly do, that I'll race the track, and there'll be certain corners that I just will never, ever master.
Never do.
Do you know what I mean? Never get it right.
Yeah, definitely, mate. There's always 1 or 2 corners that are bitches, basically. Sorry for language, but they're just horrible corners, some of them.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, Paddock Hill Bend at, that dip at Brands. I just struggle with that. Brands Hatch, the first corner, Paddock Hill Bend.
Oh, that's a killer.
It is, and I just never been very good at it.
There's no one way of taking that exactly the same every time. They talk about brain memory. Right?
Muscle memory or whatever.
Muscle memory, that's the one.
Yeah.
I just can't work it out. Every now and then you'll do it, you'll nail it, and you'll come down the dip at a really good speed, and you come up to the tight right-hander really well at a really high speed, but more often than not it's a hell of a corner there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I've said it on this track, it's right where Andy is now. These couple of right-handers at the top end of the circuit for me just mess me up every time, and however much I try and play it, you never seem to get these things quite right. And I wonder if Andy is suffering with exactly that. Just at the bottom of the crane of curves is where he seems to be struggling. Is that just his Achilles heel on this track?
I agree. Do you know what? Oh, go on, carry on, buddy.
I was going to say, but he's still only 2 seconds off the lead as somebody pits in the background. Who's gone into the pits?
Morgan's gone into the pits.
First man to pull the trigger on the pit stops by looks of it.
It's very odd you can't see, because the camera you can't
seem to get into the pits
on this track.
I can tell you what's happening. The mechanics are standing there looking at it.
Changing the headlights, as you say, it's the only thing they can do.
And they're giving it a real good dose of looking at. So which is what they're best at. I'm wondering if I'm also wondering, Mark, and we'll see what happens if we're going to get a complete red dots sweep of red dots on this race, because we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the pack now that haven't got a penalty.
That's right. Yeah, a hell of a lot. 6, I think, actually. No, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you're right. 5. The G keeping his clean sweep as he always does.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say that next Sunday this is where the touring car
this Sunday
championship is. We're at the national circuit, which is it's the same as this.
This one for sure.
So I'm going to love that. I do like this circuit with the McGann, actually. I think I've got a nailed setup and a nailed way to take it. So chat for me next Sunday, mate.
Well, it's just to let you know that I'm running your setup. So it's the best one. It's the best. I was going to say it's the best one I found. It's not the best one I found. It's the best one I've been given so far.
Well, I was saying these
someone goes wide. Who was that? And then they take Dan with them.
Alfred's got Valigre. Valigre. Do you remember what I said?
Really bad for Dan.
He's letting him go.
Yeah, he's let.
Fair play.
He's going to let. Is he letting Daniel through?
He is
going to let Daniel through, because that was that was his badge. So he's made up for that. Fair play.
Yeah, fair play to Valigre, and unlucky for Dan. But what was I going to? I completely lost my chain of thought there.
Setups. We were talking about setups.
Yes, so we're talking about setups. Yeah, so it's funny, isn't it, when people create these setups? It's a bit like saying to Dan the other day when we were doing some practice. It's a bit like a coronavirus variant. It starts off on one thing, and then it morphs into something else, and it kind of keeps on. There's always a base version of it somewhere lying around that somebody's taken hold of it and sort of done their little thing to it. You know, I think it might have even started from way back when Andy actually gave me a McGann setup ages ago.
I've got an Andy one as well, actually.
You know, because you kind of think, you've got to keep that base and keep it there. Anyway, someone else has just gone into the pitch. We've got Valigro and WRSJ have gone in.
WRSJ in has come in as well. Yep.
And go on.
We can't see any of the pit stops this evening, as you pointed out, Mark. For some reason, we're not allowed to look in there.
Just saw a little bit there, a little bit of the guys in the corner there. That's all you're going to get.
We don't
tonight,
seem to have a cameraman in the pits, do we? He's obviously having a day off, that one.
He's having a few beers down at the curry house that we were talking about earlier.
Probably, yeah, absolutely. So, keep the comments coming in the chat. Lots of talk of prolapse. Prolapse is bad, says Kurt. Yeah, well, it's not for everyone. And who have we got? Tyler Chapman, Team Prolapse. Nicky turns up to races more than he does work. Well, yeah, there you go. Is that correct, Nicky? Is he in the chat this evening? We'll see if he replies to that one. Keep the comments coming. Keep the likes coming. Subscribe. Go to the website. Do all that kind of stuff. Our sponsor this evening for the Clios all this season is Silent X Energy, which is a drinks brand. Go check them out on their website. I think they're doing a 10% discount. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's a 10% discount on their products. And look how the fog's come in all of a sudden. Look.
I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's
right.
all come from nowhere. That has, isn't it? All of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. It's coming off the Peak District, coming down into the Vale of Derby, and then into the track area. So yeah, it's going to make it a bit more difficult to see the apexes and things. As long as no one's taken out the sighting boards. And we had this when we were doing the practice for the FR35s at the Australian ring. Austrian ring.
I know the one. Yeah.
And it was foggy there when we were doing the practice, and I just, the speed of the Formula Reynolds, right, coming into the corners, you just couldn't frigging see where the apexes were because of the fog. But it makes all these additional add-ons to the weather patterns, makes it all, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Makes it spices it up a little bit, doesn't it? So Laney's currently leading on lap 17 out of 31. Not by a massive margin.
Hunting him down. G's
hunting him down. Yeah, he is, certainly is. So we'll see what Laney's made of, because we all know what the G's made of, right? So Laney's fairly new to the motive season, his second season. He sort of kicked off this season actually in the Clio Tier 2s.
Yeah.
And he showed how amazing he was in the Tier 2. He won the first 3 races and asked Motive if he could be put up into the Tier 1s. And at the same time he joined the Touring Car Championship as well, which I had some great help from Laney. We worked together to, yes, I did win the championship, but I must say, got a lot of help from Laney to allow me to win. He
rear-gunnered you for that last one, didn't he? As we see,
on that one.
Someone in the background just hit the wall. I don't know who that was. I think it was a yellow car. It might have been Andy.
Don't know.
He's gone into
Andy's come into
now.
the pits. It could have been Andy.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a.
Now.
I think he had a bit of an off just in the last chicane. Sorry to talk over there, Mark, but he was.
No.
I saw him in the background there. Or saw a yellow livery car go into the wall. So I don't know if Andy just jumped into the pits at the same time.
He took advantage of that, didn't he? Because while you're off, it's like, what the hell, get in the pits. Do you know what I mean? While you're there.
Yeah. If you just joined us, all these guys have to do a mandatory pit stop. It's mandatory. They don't have to change anything. They don't have to put tyres on. They don't have to put fuel in, but they do have to stop. So, and most of these guys will be set at just a straight stop. No damage in this particular format that we're using this evening. So you don't have to repair any damage. But they would have fueled these cars to the end right at the start, and they won't change tyres because all those operations take far too long in the pits in this game. So all they have to do is come in, hit their marks, the mechanics look at them, you know, and then they try that again. So, but everyone has to do it. So we don't have the information that who stopped and who hasn't stopped. But I don't think any of the, well, certainly Laney and the Only G haven't stopped yet. And there's a few others that haven't stopped yet. We know Andy has. We know Daniel has. Motoring Morgan, I think he's stopped. Fly's stopped. So a few have already. As you look at that, looks like pea soup, isn't it? You know. Absolutely. Yeah. Somebody flashing their lights.
Flashing going on there.
Who's that?
Was that Laney telling?
No.
Yeah, Laney asking. Yeah,
Laney.
That was Laney letting G go through.
Yeah.
Maybe because Laney might be coming in. Maybe Laney might be coming in for a pit stop now. Don't know actually.
Why would you let the other one through? Unless yeah.
Don't know, mate.
Unless they had a bit of a scuffle that we didn't see, but
no, I don't think they did. Mate.
No, a strange one. That you'll have to ask Laney what that was about, because he seemed to let G through. Really,
I will do. I will be asking him. Let's see if he goes into the pit now. That might have been the reason, but we'll soon see. If not, then I'll ask him tomorrow. No, he didn't go in. So interesting. Maybe he wants a bit of a change to, you know, sometimes having a little bit of a change helps you sort of refocus a little bit. Following someone from behind can sometimes give you a bit of focus, whereas when you're on your own out the front, you sort of start losing it a little bit. And maybe he wants it because it's all, maybe it's the fog.
Maybe I mean, these things are all feasible, Mark. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be just letting somebody like G pass me just for a change of scenery. That's for certain sure. Because once G's in front, you know, that'd be a difficult one to pull back again. Yeah. It wouldn't be a tactic that I'd ever take on. Do you know what I mean? I hold on to every place with the knuckles as white as you can get, holding on to the steering wheel for grim death. So
do I.
Yeah, so
absolutely, buddy.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be letting anybody through, but I'm sure. Well, certainly you can chat to him in the morning and try and work out what that was about. Smokey Devil in the pits. It's been a quiet race for Smokey this one. In and out of the pits by the looks of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
so you were talking earlier, to changing subject. You were talking earlier about Formula One, and you were talking about. Talking about sandbagging from Mercedes. You said you don't reckon that they might have a bit of trouble at the beginning. Do you reckon? Really think that?
Yeah, they've got 10 days to work it out, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? Or 12 days after.
What have you been reading? I mean,
I just watched the test really, and you know, gearbox issues in the. In the first session on the first day, big gearbox issues, and just not looking, the Merc's just not looking like itself. The Red Bull was definitely the quicker package over the test, and the McLarens were strong as well, which is the team I'm backing this year. I'm a fan of many teams, a big Formula One fan, and I'm a fan of many teams, and I've been in the Red Bull camp for quite a few years. But it's the McLaren lineup is exciting. Do you know what I mean? Danny Rick, Lando Norris, Mercedes engine in the back of that McLaren. McLaren are a proved team to win championships, so I'm excited about them. But yes, I do think Mercedes are on the back foot, but they might sort it out before we get to race one.
I've signed up for this fantasy Formula One thing this year because a friend of mine at work has done it, and you just go into fantasyformula1.com. It's free, so you've got fictitious $100 million to use. You choose 5 drivers and you choose one team. I actually chose McLaren as my team because they're cheaper than Mercedes and they're cheaper than Red Bull are. So I won't tell everybody on the stream what else I've chosen. I don't want them to copy me. But apparently, the way it works, if you've ever done it, but you get like a league table for your country, and then there's a world league table, and I think the person who wins by the end of the season, it's all based on the points that they get from qualifying and from winning, and also you get like a turbo driver, so you choose one of your drivers as a turbo driver who gets double points, and you get the ability to swap out drivers, I think 3 times through the season, so it mixes it all up, right? Because the combinations of somebody having exactly the same points is almost impossible because people have been making different changes through the season. So I've decided to. I've never been into that, like, you know, the fantasy football.
Yeah, I've never got involved in that. No,
never done that. But I'm like you. I love Formula One. I'm a person. I used to every Sunday, like religiously with my wife before we had kids. We would basically do our Sunday roast and watch a Formula One race. Yeah. You know.
That's the way.
She was into it as much as me.
That's the way it happens around here as well. I don't think I know I haven't missed a race since 1994. Do you know what I mean? I've seen every single one.
Yeah, the Mansell days. The Mansell days.
Absolutely.
Even slightly before that.
Yeah,
you know?
just we'll get back to Formula One because I do love to talk about Formula One. But just quickly, the only G has just got back in front of Laney. They've both done their pit stops, and Laney had come out in front of the G, but G is now back in front of Laney again. Delore and Melted Daza are very, very close to each other, but I don't think they've stopped yet. The one I'm not sure about is I would say Luty Mitsuti hasn't stopped yet. So what you're watching now is effectively the race lead, net race lead. This is the only G and Laney are going to be battling this one out right the way to the end, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
that's right. And I was just saying the fog's gone as well, mate. So
it has. Yeah,
that's made it nice and clear to see now. So
I think it's probably just somebody had a bonfire instead, did they? You know, that's all it was.
Just across the way there, across the field. Absolutely. So you're right, mate. It's going to be these two.
John Boy's real close, mind. I don't know if he's has he pitted yet? I'm not sure if he's pitted or not.
I would say he has. Say he has. I've not seen him in any trouble.
Laney going round the outside of G, going to try and make it stick round the outside. We flick onto that's it. Yeah, there we are, and he's done it. Laney's gone round the outside in turn one, gone round the only G. That's a good bit of driving there from Laney. And,
defo.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly keeping my first round safe is Laney. So safe from Andy anyway. So because Andy's dropped back now quite a lot. As you can see, the G. The G is now hassling the back of him again, isn't he?
It's great racing, this, isn't it?
Absolutely. And when Daniel got me into motive and so on and so forth, and when I joined up, it's like Clio's this, Clio's that, and I'm like, what really? Renault Clio's? You boys race Renault Clio's? You've got Formula Renaults, you've got X, you've got NASCAR, if that's your thing. You've got so many options on project cars, and you race Clio's. And he's like, mate, you've got to see it. And exactly right. It's one of the most entertaining championships on motive, really. You know, it's I mean, you and me love the touring cars. I would, if it panned out on another night, I would be in Formula Renaults because I do love those cars. But it's on the wrong night for me. So, but
Saturday night's your night, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Saturday's,
you know, it's other things to be doing on a Saturday night, you know. But it's this for action. You can't beat the Clios, can you? There's such good value, value.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely love the close driving, and you know, it's the ability to really put your force feedback steering wheel to good use on these cars, as well as Laney's.
Laney's just letting through again. Let the G through again.
Isn't he?
Yeah. Why did he do that?
They're doing a bit of that. Well, mate, I'll find out tomorrow and I'll report back next week. See, you'll
have to let us know next week why he kept doing that. But he's done that twice now. Just let the G through.
Absolutely. I was just saying, with these cars, and just like the Megans as well, you really put your force feedback steering wheel to good use. You really get to feel every undulation and every kind of, how the tyres sort of feel on the track if you get a decent steering wheel. With Formula Renault, it's different, right? The feeling's different.
Yeah, they're a handful as well, aren't they?
They are a handful.
They feel a handful, don't they? Yeah, nice bit of slide in the Formula Renaults. I like the way the back end will kind of drift.
That's right.
Yeah, without kind of losing it too easily, So I am a fan of the Formula Renaults, although I've never raced them on. I've raced them with the general Muppets in the general lobbies, But But yeah, that's a lottery whenever you do that. But I haven't raced them in a sim league at all. So, but we'll see. It's early days.
If you can.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I love it. For me, it was a bit of a love-hate relationship at the beginning. I just couldn't get my head around them, but literally, I think the tail end of last season, I was stringing together thirds and fourths, I believe. Definitely fourths. And I got 2 fourths on Saturday, last weeks. And I think I'm having Long Beach. It's a difficult track, right?
I love
it's not
that.
difficult. I love it. But the thing is, it's so tight. The chance of you turning a corner and there being a car side on. You know, I did some practice. I sent a message to Dan yesterday. Did a 106 point. It was a 106.6 on that track, and Dan said he did a 105.9. So I'm not a million miles off him. Right?
No.
And he loves that track. So
he's a firm favourite of myself and Daniel's. Actually, we raced together on that one. When we're messing around or whatever. Just recap. We're in four laps left. The only G is now starting to gap Laney by nearly a second now, and we've got 4 laps left to go. Kurt in the chat asking if they can pit on the last lap. Not exactly the last lap. You've got to take your pit stop with 31 laps. You'll have to take it on lap 30 if they haven't taken it already, because you can't be in the pits while you're going over the start-finish line. So second to last lap is the last lap that they can make their pit stop. I haven't been keeping track. I don't know if anybody else needs to pit, but I think the order is pretty much sorted out, as Laney's still chasing down the only G for the win. Do we want to do a driver of the day? Let's stick it out to the chat. Driver of the day. What are your thoughts on that one, Mart?
I don't know.
It's hard to see a clear driver of the day, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. I think obviously in the first race we had some good races. I can't remember who won first race actually.
Laney did, didn't he?
Laney did, because
but to be fair, he had that one easy to him, didn't he? Really?
Yeah. I think Andy, they came up, and the G and Andy came up from the back of the last race, and they're obviously there or thereabouts around on here. I don't know. I'm going to put my name on that one, on John Boy. Actually, I don't want to give the guys who always do extremely well, the G and Andy, and Laney did well. He was gifted in a way the first race. I'll put that great question to John Boy, mate. I'll give him the drive of the day, bud.
Yeah. Well, I am going to go. I think I'm going to go. Oh, it's tough. I mean, Laney's had a solid race, but he's going to have the best points haul from this meeting, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's had a first, and he's looking like a second or a first. I'm just going to wait and see if Laney can put one on. If Laney can put one on G in the last couple of laps, then he'll be my driver of the day. If not, I think Andy's done a solid job, job. But Laney driver of the day for Pure Motorsport. Laney driver of the day without any doubt. Well, I don't know without any doubt, but that Pure Motorsport, that's your opinion. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So Pure Motorsport, Laney for driver of the day. Let's have the rest of your thoughts. If he wins the race, well, I'm on with that one as well. If he wins the race, then I think he's going to be driving a day. But getting past G.
2 laps now, mate. Let's see.
Yeah.
So this is going to be exciting. I wonder how Laney's sizing the G up now. He's trying to make his pounds.
He's weaving from one to the other. Yeah,
they've been playing, right?
Yeah,
and maybe the G will give him this. The G's giving him it a little bit. I think he might do.
That was. I didn't feel. Yeah, that was the G rolling over a little bit there, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
A little bit tickle my belly. That was as you go past. That was.
Your belly.
Right, but they're going side by side down through the craners, and again G kind of. Oh yeah, nice switch there from G. they're certainly going to give us a show towards the end as G comes round the outside as they come up to the far side of the circuit. I think G's going to get this one done as they come round to this bit, but watch Laney. Is he going to tuck to the inside, try and get a drive down the back straight? This has got to be the best battle on track at the moment, and it's for the lead. So come on, Laney. Let's see if you can put one over on G. Come on, G. Let's see your class, because we know he's got class. As they look, Laney right in his slipstream. G trying to break that slipstream. Laney goes to the outside. He's going to struggle to go round him there, so it's going to be all about the last lap.
Creeping up on the back, mate. Look at John Boy creeping. I know there's only one lap to go. Can't see him doing it, but he's creeping up. Let's see this last lap here, buddy.
Yeah, let's see this last lap indeed. Laney's going to go down the inside again.
Same as before.
Yeah, but I think G's got
not
that one covered off.
G's not giving him too much this time. Yeah.
Down through the craters again for the last time, and G's leading Laney down through. John Boy is close. He'll pick up something if these two make a mistake. Laney getting a little bit loose as they drop down the hill there. G getting a little bit loose as they go round into that.
Though.
Yeah, held on to it. Lovely.
He flicked it in, didn't he?
Yeah. As they come back up through to the far side of the circuit for the last time. Incidentally, only 3 people who haven't got penalties now. We'll see when the penalties work out, because if Laney's got a 2-second penalty,
I'll have to check that.
G hasn't got a penalty. So
no, you're right.
Yeah, so that's also going to have an impact on this race.
Yeah, could play for John Boy as well, because John Boy would be friends. Yeah,
but here we go, Mark. Look, Laney's trying to stay in the slip of G. He's looking to the inside. Is he going to do a dive right at the end? I think he's going to think better of it.
He's yielding it because he knows he's got the penalty, right? So there's no point.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be the only G come across the line is going to be your winner. The only G from Laney from John Boy.
Go on, mate. Yeah, Laney did get the 3rd place. Yeah.
Andy comes over the line in 4th. Motoring Morgan's just coming into the where is Motoring Morgan? Just coming across the line. And look, and we got the only 2 that haven't got a penalty in the top 2 now. Where are we? Unorthodox, he comes in 8th. 9th is DeHuis Rocker. Luty but Shooty will come across the line in 10th. 11th place will be Fly. He's still coming through the last chicane. Nick the Villa 12th. Smoky Devil's going to be 13th, and it's going to be WSRJ is going to be your man who's takes 14th place. But as I said, look at that. The only penalties, the only 2 that didn't have penalties are the only G and John Boy. Everyone else picked up penalties.
Slick driving for this track to not go and have any penalties, as we were saying on a couple of the corners here, right? It's quite easy to get a couple of penalties, but very slick driving. So there we go. Quite an exciting end to that race. Good. Yeah. So who are you going back to your driver of the race then on this one?
For me, it's as I say, it's got. Well, I've got to go with Laney, haven't I? I've got to, because
stuck with it.
Yeah, he's stuck with it, and he's
8 seconds in the end, bud.
Yeah, that's quite a lot, isn't it? So he drops back behind John Boy and just in front of Andy. And I think the wager that we had, Mark, was you're buying the drinks, my old cocker. You know, so for me, that's me and Laney will have a double. I think it's on you, Mark.
Mate. Glad to buy you a drink anytime.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah, it's interesting to see the top 2 very slick drivers, which is why I did say John Boy for me was one of the very, very good solid drivers on the track. You can never discount him. Both of them. Look at the fastest laps here. Just have a quick scan of that. It was Andy who got the Was it Andy? Yes, it was Andy who, by the looks of it, who got the fastest lap.
No. John Boy slightly faster on a 6-0.
Oh, correct. 6-0. Yeah.
6-0. No, and DeHuis Rocker on a 6-3. Luty McShooty a 6-1. Oh yeah, the other boys are in the 15s. Yeah.
16s.
Yeah. In the 16s, they're in the 15s. Yeah. So yeah, it does look like it was. John Boy with the quickest
lap.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So he's the man with the quickest lap. We move on next week. We are Sergio for the Clios next week. thank you to everyone in the comments. Keep your support. If you haven't hit the like button, then please do. Subscribe to the channel, do all that kind of stuff. Tomorrow night, I believe, is ACC on Motive, and it's if you fancy a change, and Simplay run their championship, their Pro-Am GT3 tomorrow night. Thursday night is Simplay as well, where I'll be joining Simplay to do the commentary over there, so we'd love to see you over there. All sorts goes on over the weekend. I don't know everything and all the championships.
Would you like me to jump in at this point, Kelly?
Oh yes, that would be great, Dan. Yeah, just if you could just tell me the rest of the week, Dan. What's on at Motive for the rest of the week, please?
For the rest of the week here at Motive, we have an exciting round of GT4s at Kailami tomorrow night with myself on ACC. Usually I'd have Dr. Benji with me, but he sadly won't be with me tomorrow night. So GT4 at Kailami tomorrow night. We have a break on Thursday night, and then we come back for Friday night at Formula 1, where we head to the Red Bull Ring. Then Saturday night we have back onto Project Cars, and we hit to the GT3 American Championship, followed by the Formula Renaults straight after that. And then the Sunday we round things off with the GT3 Super Season back once again, and the final event of the week would be Touring Cars, and we're doing the British Touring Car Championship, so make sure you stick by to make sure you see all the action here at Motive.
Yes, the best to last. If you're at a loose end on Thursday, as I said, join me on Simplay with Matt for the GT3s on Project Cars, and Sunday night, best night of the week, Touring Cars are back, and it's the MBTTC. BTTC, yeah, close enough. Motive's British Touring Car Championship, round 2 here at Donington Park. I'll be in the tier 2s, Mark will be in the tier 1s, Dan will be, everyone will be there. So make sure that you are, and tuning in from 7 o'clock for the Touring Cars on Sunday night. Final words, Matt. Sorry, Martin. Yeah, that's him. I knew there was one of the two.
Pleasure to be with you again.
Thank you.
Cleo's again, Kelly. Love the commentary with you. Really enjoy it, and great racing as always. Congratulations to the G on the feature. Congratulations on Laney on the sprint, and everybody, great racing. So yeah, I'll see you again next Tuesday, mate.
Absolutely, thank you very much, Mark. My pleasure as well. We always have some great banter and talk all those things that the young uns don't know anything about. So join us again for that. Quick shout out to Silent X Energy for our sponsors this evening. Go onto their website. It's a natural energy drink, isn't all filled up with, as Andy told us earlier, it's not full up with all the rubbish that you get from a normal energy drink. So have a look at that. From me and all the team at Motive, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you, everyone. And from me and Mark, good night, and thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
And you're out.
Excellent.
Sweet.
What happened to you, Dad?
Just Cleo's, mate. It's fucking
Cleo's.
close. That's what it is.
Did you? Yeah.
Morgan's having a cry.
He's having a cry. Why?
Yeah, he's fed
Last
up.
one, lads.
Morgan's having a little tantrum because he can't race in the pack, basically.
All right.
He got taken out by Smoky Devil like twice.
No idea.
But
And here he
that's
is.
what it is. It's touring cars. It's just it's close pack racing.
Yeah. Go backwards real quickly.
I got stuck behind Nick and Jay for like 4 laps at the start, and that was it. The front pack had already gone, and you can tell that Nick and Jay they'd come up from tier 2. You can just tell because they're too busy fighting each other and not working with others to stick with the pack. So I was stuck behind them. I then lost out to the slipstream because I couldn't catch the pack at that point. I was in dead man zone. Looty then made a mistake, and both of us were kind of just in limbo. We couldn't really catch no one.
Floyd took you out as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Vigek is very fucking sketchy.
He did slow down for you.
Yeah,
Every time I get near him, I just feel anxious and nervous. He's not the best person to race against. Not in touring cars or in Clios. He just doesn't seem to have spatial awareness.
Yeah, that's right.
His braking is the worst.
Yeah, it's Clios are tough for sure. I mean, that sprint race, you know, all you quick boys at the back were just the first few laps just weren't making progress.
We spent like 5 laps just trying to deal with each other before we even got anywhere near the mid pack.
Exactly, it was
I could see every time I made a place, G made a place, and then the rest of them started making a place. And I was thinking, fuck me, in a minute they're going to grab me in a minute. And then I got to, who did I get to? I think I got to J and then Vliga, and that was it. I couldn't get any further. I just got stuck at that point.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, that, like I say, you quick lot, Andy, G, you, I think Morgan was back there as well, and just like you, you just didn't. You lot just didn't seem to go forward for about 4 or 5 laps. Like, you know, there was like these 2 groups of 4 or 5 cars that just couldn't seem to progress. But it's Clios, isn't it? It's what they're like.
Yeah. And the toe is so key. Like, I couldn't catch no one. I was doing personal best every lap, but with no toe, I couldn't gain on anyone. I was like personal best. That was mid-16s.
Sorry, Dan. Why did Laney keep letting you past? It looked like he let you pass twice.
Then I got slowdowns. Yeah. He only had like, what, 8-second penalties?
Yeah, 8 seconds. Yeah, that was what it was. We thought you were just playing, but no, he was actually taking slowdowns.
You and John Boy, G, were the only 2 who didn't get a penalty.
Really?
Everyone else. Everyone else had a penalty.
I got quite a few slowdowns, but I lifted off.
I had 11-second penalties.
Yeah.
I had 6.
Yeah. Everybody except John Boy and G.
I think the problem is everyone then gets, as soon as one person drops out, that driver starts driving like frustratedly and then trying to gain as much time as possible. But you can't in these. You're gonna have to get in a rhythm.
It's these slowdowns, isn't it? And I mean, you know, anybody stop me if I'm wrong, but they come up and you just think...
It's the frustration.
Yeah, you just think, fuck it. You just think, fuck it, I'm going to take the penalty instead, because the backing off can be so, damaging that it's just like, fuck it, I'll take the penalty. You know? You come onto that long straight and then have to do a fucking slowdown. 2 or 3 people go past you. You know, it's like,
I got a fucking slowdown. And I lost like 2 seconds from going off track. I literally was like sideways. I got back on track and it goes bing, and I'm like,
and you think, shit, I've just lost 2 seconds going sideways anyway, and now you're going to do the fucking slowdown thing.
Andy, what happened to you on after the Craner curves? You know, the corner, the right-hander. You seem to sort of lose it a little bit on that corner.
On every lap.
Curves.
No, my biggest loss was out of the last corner. Me and G and I were chasing down Laney. I was a little bit behind G, G was a little bit behind Laney, and then I lost it out the last corner. And I think melted Dazzo and Delore came past just as I basically spun out of the last corner and went into the pits straight away afterwards.
I said that, Mark, didn't I? I said I saw it in the background. Then Andy spun and then went straight to the pits straight after your spin.
Yeah, I went in the pits to kind of to recover the loss, to kind of like.
Yeah, that's right. We said that. Yeah, we thought that.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
Well, now I actually owe Kelly a beer, a drink, because I had you down as my bet on this one, Andy.
No, this is why I did so badly.
Yeah, that's it, buddy.
You can share my drink, Andy. You can share my drink if you like, because thanks to Laney, Mark's buying the drinks because he got in front of you. So
Depends what you put in the drink, to be honest, Kelly. But I definitely fancy.
Well, I'm not going to piss in it, so do you know what I mean? You know,
depends what drink it is, I guess.
Oh, okay. By the end of the night, you never know, Kelly, right?
Mate. Nights get a bit weird, but they don't tend to get that weird.
A bit weird, don't they? Get that weird when you're down with me, mate.
Yeah, not that weird.
Prolapsy, doesn't it?
Get a bit prolapsy. Yeah, you don't want to go out with Darren and bloody and Nicky on a night out. Well,
Daniel will tell you all about Thruxton when I got into a drinking competition with my army friend, Dusty. That was a heavy session, wasn't it, Dan?
He told me. Was that the one with the dancing on the table situation? That was another one. Oh, no, that must have been Nicky. That might have been that was Nicky's story because Nicky was next. He was in the TA. Was Nicky. Right. So you know what army people are like.
I do. Yeah, they love to drink. We did Thruxton a couple of years ago. We normally do it every year. We did Thruxton a couple of years ago, just after they opened the new hospitality thing, and we took a friend of mine who's a power drinker, and we were all going. We were going pint for pint up to. I must have been. Where did we get to, Dan? 15, maybe 15, 18 pints.
Jesus. No, you didn't get to 15.
It wasn't far short of that because you dipped out. You were like dipping out around. It was getting on that way.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was hectic. It was really hectic. Yeah.
So we spent the whole day in the fucking baking sun watching cars go around the corner.
Yeah, it's epic. That's the way, isn't it? That's the way. And I think we went back to the vans and cooked everything we could find. Do you know what I mean? Just fried everything. Do you know what I mean? It's lucky there was no bloody cats hanging around because they would have got thrown on it as well. Like So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Look, when we party, we party.
Sounds like it, mate. We've got to get out and have a laugh, mate.
Absolutely.
YOLO, right? Let's be honest. With the shit we've had this year, we're going out and have a right old party. Wait until those pubs are open. It's going to be mental. Will you suddenly see that coronavirus curve tick up like you wouldn't believe when the pubs start to open again?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, I'm going to shoot.
All right, mate. Go get that dog a walk, innit?
No, he's been down. The missus did him tonight.
Right, okay.
I've got to actually do some bloody work now, unfortunately. But there you go. Right, see you later.
Thanks Mark.
Everybody.
See ya.
Morgan says he's close to leaving Cleo. So he was. Oh, he's in here. He is. Morgan, you shouldn't leave Cleo. Just because of a couple of bad rounds there. It's still a long season. It's the longest season we've ever done. You've got 12 races to sort it out.
Chill, Morgan. It'll be alright, don't worry.
You're right, isn't it?
Yeah, he was a bit today, smoky. Tried to go for a move up inside.
A bit today.
2-3 times during the sprints, he flipped me off, and then he fucking broke like 5 metres early from one corner and ended up down the backside.
He was on his roof at one point. I think that was qualifying.
I think he was. Hey, good news. My internet is fine.
Hey! Yay! Now you've got all the cables in the right places.
And they've sorted out that green box outside your house. It's all good.
Yeah, they've fixed all the broken wires now, haven't they?
Does anybody know a good lap time around Donning and
Say again, Nana? Yeah, it's alright. I'll sort it out. Don't worry. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Is that Nana?
Yeah, Nana's in here. Wait, let me put
Hello,
her
Nana.
through the TV so she can hear you. Nana, come here. Nana, come here. Nana, come here. Kelly wants to say hi to you. Because he thinks you're a really nice person. Here. Hey, come here. Come over here.
Guys, but don't you ushering her along like a dog.
I'm not.
You're going, come here.
That's because you want to talk to her.
Hello, Nana.
Hello.
How are you keeping?
Fine, thank you.
I didn't catch that. What was that? You'll have to talk up there. I'm a little bit deaf.
He can't hear you.
Oh, I can't hear you. My voice is too sore. My throat is too sore.
She's got a sore throat, Kelly. She's not feeling
that's not good. You'll have to have a fisherman's friend, darling.
Oh, they're awful.
But they're good though, aren't they?
The man that used to sit next to me at the football used to be with friends.
Was that Bell?
He died, didn't he?
Yeah, I know he did.
His mum was there as well.
Steve.
Have you had your jab, Nana?
Have you had your jab?
Yeah, one.
She had one of them, but she's still got to have the other one.
Yeah.
Granddad's had both of them though. He's had a lung operation, so he's had to have both.
Right.
Really quick, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Windpipe. Yeah.
That's the day when he used to be a smoker and he stopped smoking.
It's very bad for you, isn't it?
Yep.
Very serious thing to do. I messaged him, but he hasn't said anything. Doesn't matter. I'll just chill out tomorrow. I don't know, because there's no schedule. Schedule's never done, is it? No, the schedule doesn't just apply to me, no. There are multiple people working there. I'm not the only person that works there. You've got to realise these things. The world is a big place. There are lots of people in this world. Why are you telling me that? You don't need to tell me that. You don't need to tell me that, because do I look like I'm the one who does the schedule? Do I look like I'm the manager? You think I do the rota? I don't do the rota, no. It's nothing to do with me. It's not that I'm flippant, it's that I can't control it, therefore why worry about it? There's no point in worrying about it. What's the point in spending emotional or mental energy worrying about it when there's nothing that can be done? I can't do the schedule, can I? I can't do the schedule. I'm not going to stand there and tell him to do it, am I? I mean, that's reasonable though, isn't it? You know, I can't. I'm not the one who does the rota, am I? How am I supposed to?
So, am I right in saying you're not the one that does the rota?
No, actually, Kelly, no, I do the rota. It's entirely my responsibility.
Okay, good. You lied to your nana. That's not good.
I'm joking. I don't do the rota.
I got that. I got your humour. Oh dear.
He's the only one being sociable this evening.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I did ask the question.
they're obviously having a after Cleo wank, aren't they?
I got that fucking word in. That's why.
Oh well, that makes a change.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Okay, blasphemy. Stop it. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. You twat.
What's a good lap time around fucking Donington?
2 seconds faster than you're going. About 5 seconds faster than I am. I don't know, what is a quick lap? 110? G.
I'm waiting for one of the experts to tell me.
Oh, no, I don't remember. I don't remember.
What's that?
Donington.
Touring cars.
110.
Told you, 110. Force.
I'm there already.
Yep.
No 1 minute.
What you on, Dan?
Team Donning National, and I've done a